Hello everyone, welcome to Caroline's Craft Tree. Today I just wanted to share with you a little dangle I made. I got a few goodies from BeeBee Crafts. I got these, they're wire crimp, folding wire crimps or something. I'll leave a link to them below. And they're for putting, they're for putting on something like this here. And then they just crimp and hold. You can use leather, string, etc. I used them for some feathers. I also got this great selection of bulb pins. Tons of different colors in here. And I'm going to use some of them in these to attach it to your journal. Wonderful color selection in there. And then I've got a bunch of these feathers. They're just cheap feathers. They're from the dollar store. I've had them for ever and ever, from long before I started junk journaling. And I'm going to use some odds and ends of beads, but this is what they look like. They'd make great earrings. So then you would just put them onto your journal. So I think they would look really, really cute. So I'm going to show you how I made these. So I made this blue one and I made an orange one. So I'm going to show you, and I'm going to make one with this purple feather. So the first thing I did was I chopped off the end of the feather, left maybe 1/4 of an inch here. Just going to snip that off and have the end go flying. So I'm going to make this one gold. So I'm going to dig out one of these. I just looked it up on what these were called, and they were double crimp holders. A few different names for them, and they are a little awkward to work with. I have not used these before. I made these little feather dangles. So they can be a little awkward, but I think once a person uses them a bit. So I put it like this. I have the crimp holder, and then my feather is upside down in there. The other thing that I did do with some of them is, because the end of the feather is quite thick, I just took my pliers and I just flattened it. So we have our feather inside the crimp. So I'm going to take just a pair of pliers, and if you can see, the first time I squash it, I'm going to have my pliers like that. So my pliers are going to touch here and over on this side. There is a few really good videos on how to use these crimp holder ends. So with my pliers just at a bit of an angle, I'm just going to start to push this one side in. Hopefully you can see that. Now it is in there a little bit crooked, but it will get straightened out once I do this side. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm not going to get too aggressive on crimping it in quite yet, because I want the two pieces to overlap nicely. So they're almost crimped in. And then sometimes what I do is I take it and I squeeze this way, and it just straightens it up a little bit. Hopefully that shows up. So once I get it relatively to where I want it, then I'll really crimp down on this and make it good and tight on there. So there is that part there. Now for the top, I am going to use one of these eye pins, I believe they're called. Now these ones are quite long. I don't really need one that long, but this was the only length that I had. I'm going to open up the end, the eye part, so then I can slip this on there. And now I'm going to close it back up. There's tons of videos about using things like the eye pins and whatnot. I even have a video where I make beaded dangles. So I'm just going to make sure that that is closed all the way. So then I'm just going to pick out a couple beads to put on there. I'm going to put a couple of those, and I think just a white one. Oops. So we got the little green one. We're going to put on a white one. And these are just odds and ends of beads that I had left over from. So there is that. So now I need to cut some of this off. So I'm going to hold my fingers like that, because the width of my fingers are just enough space to be able to curl it down. My hands are discolored from doing some dyeing earlier today. So I'm going to cut that off. So now I have that on the end. There's maybe not quite a half an inch from the bead to the end where I cut it off. So I'm going to take my round needle nose pliers. I'm going to flip that over, so then I can make a round part on the other end. And I'm just going to keep twisting that around until it meets up with the other piece, so then it makes a nice round piece. So now comes the bulb pin, and I think I'll use one of these shiny purple ones, and I'm just going to put that on the top, and then you use the bulb pin to attach it to your page, your journal. And I think these are really, really cute. Once you get going on them, they do go pretty fast. I'm going to do a whole bunch, and I'll do them in stages. I'll put the crimp ends onto all the feathers and just kind of do them in stages. But that gives you an idea on how to make these. You could do them with any kind of feather. I'm going to make a few out of some peacock feathers to use in a peacock journal I want to make soon. But there's a cute little project. Check out the links for BeeBee Crafts where I got these. There's tons of these crimp ends, and there's lots and lots of the bulb pins in a package. And I love that they come in little boxes and whatnot. So hope you'll try this. If you have any questions, just let me know and I'll do my best to answer them. Hope you'll subscribe, like, share, all that fun stuff. And we'll see you again soon. Bye for now.